I don't remember offhand, but we can go look.
Uh,
I hate that my phone doesn't sit up.
you can't be so copyrighted.
Don't fall. I think it's mommy's email.
Mommy's email?
I think so.
Isn't hers? What's her email?
Give me a piece of paper. I'll write it down for you.
You could have just told me.
I can't tell you I'm live, dude.
Are you doing a video?
You're on TV. Yes. What's up?
I go gold. Here's sticky note.
What, bud?
Can't play Minecraft.
Why not?
I think Minecraft music is copyright.
So just turn it down.
You can make me.
I know, but I don't want to.
Are you just going to play it?
You may have to text her and ask her the password.
No, it just says log in with your email.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, Moto.
Stupid scam calls all the time. They just don't give up.
What'd you say?
Stupid scam. Hey, what's up? Just trying to get situated here.
Immediately gives me the ding. Notification.
Yep.
Cool.
Who's in here? Hey, what's up, man? We're waiting for some more people to get in here. We're going to be talking about a few things in here. The failures. Hey, Bo. Appreciate it. And that was not me working on that wheel bearing on that Subaru. That was one of our newest techs. He's been there for about 3 weeks. He was getting his butt handed to him. So I get asked a lot of questions about the Dodge Charger 3.6 liter, the ticking. And it's not a maintenance issue. It's a 3.6 liter Pentastar issue. and it's always on the driver, or excuse me, passenger side. You'll hear it on the intake side of the engine, and it's the hydraulic lifters that fail, and then the roller kind of seizes in place. Yeah, gotta make him the new guy. He's a really good guy, but the hydraulic lifter fails, then the roller starts to freeze into place, and the camshaft still spins over the top of it. And I actually have one right here. See where it kind of looks like a pizza cutter? Sam Adams Winter Beer. Oh, nice. You can see it right here. Looks like a pizza cutter right here on top. So this part is towards the back of the engine, which is where the cam position sensor is. This is towards the front. And the cam phaser sits inside here. So as this thing's spinning, you know, really, really fast. So on this one right here, this is where the hydraulic lifter had failed, and the roller rocker had actually frozen into place, the little bearing on the roller rocker. The camshaft still spinning over the top of it. This one wasn't as bad as some of the ones I've taken out, but you can see how flat that thing is compared to. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So you hear a Dodge Charger, a 3.6 ticking, and it's not like the Mustang barbecue tick. That is correct. We had this conversation the other day. It's not like the Mustang barbecue tick where you hear like tick, tick, tick as it's coming up to operating temperature, and then as you step on the throttle, it goes away. This, you step on the throttle, it gets louder and louder and louder. And people think, oh, it just needs an oil change. You change the oil, not happening. So the fix for it, when we did the police cars, we did both intake cams, both exhaust cams, and all hydraulic, all lifters, and all rockers. If it was at the dealership, because I did work at Dodge too, if it was at the Dodge dealer and it's under warranty, we just replaced the ones that failed. So in this case, it would be the intake cam with just that hydraulic lifter and that rocker. And not cool, man. And their sensors are kind of weird. I mean, it's a magneto, but it's just a magnetic sensor. But it's almost, you got to pry it just to get it out of there, even with the valve cover off. And you can see this thing's had some wear on it. That one was getting ready to go. Get the camera to focus. See the shiny spot? This one too. You'll see the shiny spot coming around. You see the two lines? That one was starting to fail as well. The worst one I did, all of the lobes actually looked like that, but they were ground down way worse. So that's the problem on the 3.6. How many miles on that one? That was a police car. My friend locked up his 5.7 Hemi. I actually got a Hemi piston right here that I'm about to show you. That was a police car, and it was a 2016 or might have been a 2018, and that one only had 53,000 miles on it. So it happens. I've had them at work here. One of the salespeople that works with me has got a 2015. Sorry, and his has got like 50 or 60,000 on it, and is doing it too. So, Bob, you said your friend blew up his Hemi. This is a Hemi piston. This one failed. This was cylinder 6. It was knocking like crazy. So, you know, I pulled the piston out. The rod bearing's not even in there. It wasn't, it just completely I guess it disintegrated the rod bearing. I mean, there was just metal all inside the oil pan. And also the gap on this compression ring. It had lost compression in cylinder 6, and then it was knocking pretty bad. And look at the gap on that ring too. I mean, you could actually...
Hey, ass butt.
Hey, mommy just texted me. Will you text her and tell her I'll text her back in a minute? Sorry. Like, I can almost pull that off. And then the oil control ring.
Texted me about that. Say no, he's live.
What'd she say?
He said, "Is your dad napping?"
No, I'm not napping. I wish I was napping. And if I'm not mistaken, one of these little oil holes was plugged up.
What do you want me to say back?
Tell her I'll text her back here just a minute. Yeah. You might be able to see this. That hole down at the bottom of your screen. So that's the oil control ring, and then the oil actually pulls it through that little hole right there to run back down the cylinder walls. That one's plugged up. And then underneath, might be reflected too much. Yeah. The wrist pin's got a bunch of, I love this flashlight now. 2000 lumens. So that's where this thing failed. I've never taken one apart that didn't have a rod bearing in it. It was just not there. I'm guessing it just melted away or disintegrated or whatever rod bearings do on Dodges. I'm not a big Dodge fan, so. Oh, excuse me, it was number 8. I wrote it on the bottom so I knew which one it was. Number 8, not number 6. Number 8's the furthest away. It's the one that gets oiled the less. What did your buddy end up doing with that Hemi, Bob? Obviously, he couldn't drive it. Dude, the definition of dodge: avoid, stay away, steer clear. They're not that great. And everybody thinks that Hemi is, oh, you're swapping it out for a 6.2. Nice. Everybody thinks that Hemi is, oh, I have a Hemi. You're basically buying a badge. So Hemi means hemispherical. The piston's supposed to be kind of a dome shape, and then the head where the piston meets is supposed to be like a dome. And that doesn't look very domey. Does that look domey to you guys? I mean, and that's carbon buildup. It was a lot worse than that, but it doesn't look very domey. There's not even any ports or indentions, not even 1 or 2 where the valves would be. Looks dodgy. I mean, there's a little mountain there, but not a Hemi. Yeah, I'll walk beforehand too. Oh, and another thing where this thing failed. See the scrapes? It was scraping the cylinder walls too because the rod bearing was gone. It's just bouncing up around. Puns are the lowest form of humor. No pun intended. So this thing. Make a good ornament. But yeah, they are that bad. Working on police cars, we had a brand new one, a brand new 2020 with a 5.7 Hemi ticking, because they tick too. They're a single cam, they're a push rod engine. Their rocker arms and stuff like that, they go bad as well. This one had 500 miles on it, and it was ticking. It sounded like a 3.6. We take it to the dealer because it's still under warranty. They put a new engine in it because the rockers had failed. We go pick it back up, me and the other technician, still ticking, and it's just shaking really bad at idle. And they have an MSD where it cuts off like 4 cylinders when you're at idle, but that's a slight. You won't really feel that vibration. You'll know it's dropped down, but this was just really bad. Sure enough, man, they take it back in there, and the spark plugs have like a bunch of grease or oil or something on it, and it was bad. It was just misfiring. They ended up replacing the spark plugs in it, and it ran better after that. But 500 miles for a Dodge, come on. Anyway, I'm going to do a giveaway. What do you guys think it is? I wouldn't give anybody a used Dodge. I wouldn't give anybody a new Dodge. And they are discontinuing the Hellcat. Yeah, I talked to him on the phone. He said he had his other tech in there doing that. He said it was ticking really bad, and they couldn't figure out where it was coming from. And then I talked to him on the phone, and sure enough, that's what it was. It was the lifters and stuff. If that's the same one I'm thinking of, it might be a Dodge Ram that I'm thinking of that I talked to him about. So what do you guys think I'm giving away? How do you guys want to do it? Draw names, do numbers. These are some really big oil journals. I mean, you can see through that. I wish I still had the caps. On my Christmas tree? My wife likes to decorate here. My son over there in the corner. You need a brake bleeding kit? I'll tell you what, that's not what I'm giving away, but I got one you can have. Just email me your address, I'll send you one. I have one you can have.
Hey, Dad,
Yes.
am I allowed to be entered in the giveaway?
You want to be entered in the giveaway?
Well, just go to me. Whatever it is, I don't even know what it is.
No problem. It's used now. I've used it once or twice, but you can have it. Ooh. I have a scan tool, but I use it. Hang on. It might be dead. No, it's not dead. So this is a Mako tool scan tool. It's the Max Lite. I love this one. It's small. I do have an IDS that I use for Ford, but this one does Ford too. This one actually does all makes. It'll load up. There we go. This one. Diagnostic. Yeah, I love this scan tool. What's this thing? Find a new version. Oh, I gotta update it. I'll do it a little bit. But this one does inspection readiness and all that good stuff. What was that? It's probably backwards for you guys. Voltage, the VIN number, IM readiness, service resets, all that good stuff. And it's got everything on here. Oh, hey, Jeremy. Jeremy, you ever heard of what was the name of it? Forgot. Oh, Top Don. It's like uses the Android base, but I think you are correct. I love this thing though. Biking is boy. You said you have spongy brakes. And you said you don't have a visible fluid leak anywhere? Did I catch that comment right? Okay, the suction on my little pump went out on my kit, and I got to figure out why I keep losing pressure in my rear brake without any sign of a fluid leak. What kind of car is it? Oh, on your bike? What kind of bike is it? I used to work on bikes too.
Fun working on bikes.
Stuck slide pins will cause. But also, I've had issues when I worked at a bike shop. It was the master cylinder was leaking internally. And Ninja 650. Yeah, I was about to say bad hose like Jeremy just said. The hoses on those Kawasaki's, man, they're rubber. And they are... So when you're going down the road and you got brake fluid through the hose and you push on it, that rubber hose expands. So if I was you, I would actually take that off and get you some of the Nissan, or I forgot what they were called, the steel braid brake lines. Steel braided hoses. Yep. Spiegler. That's what I got on mine. You get a much better feel too on the grip, or on the front lever and the rear. But can anybody guess what we're doing for the giveaway? You have steel braid lines. Oh. Is it steel braided all the way to the master, from the master cylinder to the caliper, or does it have that little plastic piece in between?
Oh, um,
No, we're not giving away a t-shirt. Master or caliper, those are really it. Yep. Yeah, Jeremy's right. Jeremy's a mechanic too, by the way, guys. No, no hat.
oh, that's what it is. Can't find the freaking Disney password.
Oh, there it is.
Napa Tech of the Year. I'm not giving my wife away. Never in a million years would I give my wife away. Sorry, I'm trying to update my scans for Nissan, Porsche, Buick, steering angle, Subaru, Suzuki, Bentley, Bugatti. No, I'm not independent, Jeremy. I'll message you later. I do miss Ford though. I miss the benefits, but I don't miss flat rate at all. I miss the people that I work with. Well, this is the dash cam we're giving away, Bob. I miss going to Twin Peaks with you, Jeremy. Getting that hangover burger and a cup of bacon. Yep, flat rate sucks. You can make good money flat rate, but at the same time, you can get your ass handed to you. Steel braid from the master cylinder and rubber from the reservoir. Change that rubber hose. Oh yeah, I mean you gotta know how to manage your time, but I mean the Ford dealership that I worked at, I was constantly busy. And sometimes I was so busy, I was taking other people's bays because they sit there and play on their phone all day, and then they complain about a paycheck. You hitting your vape too? Yep. The brake, the brake flush thing I'm gonna send you is pneumatic. Yeah, dealer time sucks. What sucked about dealer for me is warranty. I hate, depending on what it was. Um, there was recalls that I love to do. The RCMs on the Fusions, I love doing those. Oh man, the edge harness recall. Oh man. Actually, besides the RCM restraint or restraint control module recall, yeah, I make vape chews too. The steering wheel bolt for the Fusion, and also the seat belt where you had that blue liquid with the syringe and you have to squirt it down inside the seat belt cable. Yeah. So was the driver airbag on the Mustang. Cake work. Sorry, y'all disappeared. Didn't mean to do that. Yeah. I powered down the SRS anyway. I had an airbag blow up from an F-150 when I threw it in the front seat, cloth front seat. That part can fail because it's a rubber hose and the collapse on the inside. This is a Freemax Mesh Pro. It's not a dripper, but it's I got a quad coil in there right now. And I'm at 85 watts. That's kind of low for right now. So how are we gonna do this how are we gonna do this dash cam? How you guys want to do it? And what else you guys want to talk about? What other questions you got? Oops. Hey man, if you try vaping, vaping's actually really, I mean, it's not good for you, but that's what you want to talk about, Jeremy, a check engine light check and drivability concerns. This one goes up to 110, I think, this tank, though, the coil that's in here. Oh, let them ask. It is an automotive channel. And motorcycles too, because
Hey, Dad, I'm trying to make some ravioli.
yeah, you can make ravioli. You're in the background.
Huh?
You're in the background. Some of them are. I think my dad's Indian's OBD. Gas direct injected engines run around 525 or 520 fuel psi. The Mustang is port injected and direct injected on the 2018 and newer. So the fuel pump is actually putting out 42 to 48 psi, the one that's in the tank. When it gets up to the fuel rail, the high pressure fuel pump puts it at about 2,900 psi. If I'm not mistaken, the high pressure fuel pump on my Ranger is about the same. And on the Escape and all that stuff. Not quite sure what it is on the Tahoes. It's probably somewhere around the same, maybe a little bit lower. Yeah, they do. They do. I actually had one in the shop the other day. I think Land Rover's not that great anyway. .520 PSI is actually not that huge. So you're talking about two different pumps here because you have a pump in the tank that sends it to the fuel rail. And then the high pressure pump, like Jeremy's talking about, that's up at, it uses the camshaft to actuate it. There's a spring inside there. That's about 2,000 to 2,900. Yep, 60-ish. I know the Mustang is like 45 or 48, depending. I think my Ranger might be 55. I'm not quite sure. I have to look at it. Land Rover and Jaguar owned by a Chinese company. China owns everything. That's sad. Exactly. More of a volume than pressure. It's for that direct injection. It's like one of those pressure washers, man. It's like shooting. You did the fuel pumps? The pressure pumps? Time to boycott China. Everything's made in China and it lasts for 3 days. VOI? Yeah, Fiat sold them a little bit ago. Not wasn't too long ago. I think they're still making Fiat's still making the electronics for Dodge though. They're having a lot of electrical issues now. Besides engine issues. Their fuel pumps are horrible. Yeah, Ingersoll Rand. They're good impacts. I like my Milwaukee ones.
Milwaukee drills?
Impact. Yeah, I was still working at Dodge right before they sold. I got into it with a Snap-on guy yesterday. I don't like Snap-on at all. You can't go wrong with Milwaukee, man.
Mail, motherfucker!
Yeah, well, that one rep put a bad taste in my mouth. I don't want to deal with Snap-on anymore at all, period. The guy that came in, he was a cool guy. Don't get me wrong, and I understand he's trying to fix a route that another Snap-on guy previously has screwed up. But, I mean, if I have an issue... That's true, Bob. Very true. I tried to fix it with the Snap-on guy the first time, and then he wanted to turn around and try to screw me again. So I'm done with it, man. Like, I don't have time to play games. Yeah, I can't say his name, but his initials are Bobby Garcia. I don't like the dude. He actually got arrested for beating his wife. No. The new Snap-on guy they have, I think his name's Chris. He's a nice guy, but I just won't deal with Snap-on. I won't even step foot on their truck. I'm a Matco guy, so yeah, I'm still in North Carolina. I have some Mac stuff. I'm like 95% Matco because my Matco rep is a really cool guy. Um, he actually gave me a free hoodie today. Yeah, you live about 30 minutes from Rich. He did the video on your Explorer, didn't he? You got snow. We got rain yesterday, and it was cold. So, Bob, speaking of that, right after you talked to me about that, one of my buddies in Texas has a 2019 F-150, and he had it in at one of the dealers I worked at in there. They were doing the recall for the rear axle, the spring, and he picked it up, and then he sent me a message. He was like, "Hey, is a TSB the same as a recall?" I said, "No, a TSB is a technical service bulletin. So if you bring it in and you have a complaint about something, we verify your concern and everything, and the first thing we're supposed to do after we verify is look for TSBs, anything kind of associated with that. Or there's this TSB, Rich talks about TSBs too, like 21N01. But there's a TSB for the 2019, I think it's 18, 19, and 20. F-150, his passenger floorboard was wet, and he thought it might have been the heater core. It's actually the AC drain where it's just running back into the floorboard, and you have to take the front wheel off, pull the fender liner back, get a pair of needle nose pliers, and pull the hose, and then take a little metal ring off of it, and then install an elbow onto it, so it runs down on the ground instead of inside the truck. And he was mad because they had his truck for like a month, and they didn't even bother to look at that. And he said something about it. Said, "Dude, it's like a 10-minute fix, man. Go to the dealer and get the part. Go in your driveway, take your wheel off, pull the old one out, put the elbow in. Good to go." Yes, Jeremy, generally recalls that aren't safety turn into TSBs. Yeah, so obviously the AC, water running into the floorboard is not a safety issue. It's just an annoying issue. Yeah, I love watching Rich's videos. Because where you guys are up north, I don't think Jeremy saw any of this either, because he's in North Carolina too. He's not too far from me. There's things that I've seen on Rich's channel that I have never come across at the dealership that I worked at. Thoughts on reprogramming for check engine light concerns after, say, 75K as a fix? It depends on what the issue was. Need a radiator flush and a tune-up? Rush can handle, Rush, sorry, that's my best friend who passed away. Rich can handle that. Flashing the ECU after 75K, depending on what the issue was. I wouldn't flash the ECU. I would probably just clear cam to keep alive memory and do parameter reset and do a vehicle relearn. Just let everything relearn itself. I had to do that on a Chevy Impala, actually. Yeah, you do have huge rust and corrosion problems there. Some of the cars we get are from up north, well, the New York area. EVAP leak, cam crank code, TSB recall lead to reprogram first most of the time. Yeah, that's their fix for it right now, is reprogramming. Another one of my buddies has a 19 F-150 with the 5.0, and it was doing the oil consumption, and I actually sent him the TSB because he has Forescan. To reprogram, I think it's the PCM, because the throttle blade on deceleration, it's actually the vacuum is actually sucking oil up past the piston rings. So you reprogram it for the throttle blade. Right. Widening the parameters. Basically tricking the vehicle. Jesus, dude. Sorry, this guy keeps trying to video call me on Facebook. Well, the TSB is to reprogram the PCM. And then you're going to clear cam, do parameter reset and all that crap. And then it's going to relearn. You got to reset the trim values too, the fuel trim values. No. It's not actually sucking into the throttle body. It's the way the throttle blade is opening. And then when you let off the throttle and it does the injector cutoff and the vacuum comes back, it's so much vacuum behind it, it's pulling the oil up past the piston rings. You can't, well, you can reset fuel trim and have the vehicle relearn it. That's just like you can have it relearn idle as well. No, we're talking about on a new one, Jeremy. Yeah, his didn't have any carbon buildup in it. It was just the way the PCM was talking to it. It was, I guess it was closing too far or what? I don't know. They fixed it. But to answer that other question, the vehicle will relearn fuel trim data. You can't like reprogram fuel trim data. Yeah, his is a 19 or a 20. Something. I think it's a 20. I appreciate that, Bob. Basically, they stepping into everything. But just as a general, like with a scan tool, is what he was asking. Like, no, you can't reprogram field trims. You literally have to like put a tune on it, like Jeremy's saying. With a scan tool, you're basically clearing CAM, which is keep alive memory. You're resetting the vehicle parameters. So basically, everything is just vehicle has no idea what's going on. It's going to relearn the idle. It's going to relearn the fuel trim for open loop and closed loop. It's going to relearn just basically everything. Your like how hard you are on the throttle, your shift points, basically everything. And as you start to drive, then it starts creating a memory, and that's that keep alive memory I was telling you about. It thinks it's brand new. Exactly. You're not technically deleting it. You're just resetting it. Same thing with like Jeremy, you know this, like the battery monitors on the Fords. Not all of them have them, but most of them do. When you put a new battery in, the vehicle doesn't know it has a new battery. It just knows that there's battery there. So you have to tell it, hey, you got a new battery. If you don't, it's either going to overcharge or undercharge. And you're going to have all sorts of issues. And there's only two ways that I know of to reset a battery monitoring system. And one of them is with the scan tool. The other one is after you put the battery in. Yep, extra half hour. Is put the battery in, close the hood, lock the doors, don't touch the key fob or the vehicle for 8 hours. Yeah. I didn't know you could deadhead the cables. I know you can reset Bluetooth that way. Yeah, older vehicles are less headache. All these new electronics on these new vehicles, you got to be a computer scientist to figure some of this stuff out, man. Can Forescan reprogram the new battery install? Yes, it'll do a battery monitor system reset. Basically, I think the only thing you can't really see with Forescan is a power balance. But you can see like a graph. It's not a power idle relearn for Toyota, and Honda requires that. Yep. You can see like a graph for each cylinder, but it's not really a power balance test where it shows you like the negative and the positive. Yeah, so where I work at now, since I'm Ford and Dodge certified, I get a lot of the Fords and Dodges. Power balance, like, okay, you got a misfire. Chevrolet has like their own form of power balance. You got a misfire, and I need to see where it's coming from. I can look at the cylinders, and Jeremy, you know, those numbers tell you basically what the problem is or where to look. You know, if it's down below -20 or whatever, it's just straight down in a V. You know, it's probably your coil or something like that. And that's when you get out, you back probe it and all that good stuff, or you can ohm out the coil.
Hey, ass butt.
That's the same thing with the Dodge cam crank relearn, the correlation.
Hey, ass butt.
Sorry, that's my wife texting me. Um, the Hemi also has a problem with the misfire on cylinder 2, which I believe is passenger side, if I'm not mistaken. Theirs is different. The 3.6 and the 3.6 and 5.7, the way they do their cylinder layout is way different. Ford makes it easy, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, straight down the line. If you keep getting a misfire on that, I think me and Jeremy, and there was that other dude that was in our electrical class. Remember that guy? He used to work for Dodge. You have to replace the cylinder head. I think that guy's name was David or something like that. He went to Twin Peaks with us. Yes. I actually have one right here. Yep, left bank. I'll respond to her. She just let me know where she was, and I'm gonna have to get off here in a minute. So I have to go. I have to go pick her up. She knows I'm live right now. So before I do it, who wants the dash cam? I did open it because I wanted to make sure it worked. I'm sorry. I'll open it now so you can see it. And it sits in this really cool magnetic holder. Yeah, you got to hit that like button. So you can actually take it out of your vehicle when you're not in there. It's magnetic. Bob, you want it? It's yours. You got to hit that like button though. Share the video. You got to send me your address. I'll be doing more giveaways later too. Not tonight, but sweet. It's geotag. There's actually a geotagger in here. Yeah, right here. So, geotag. It actually just magnetic to the side. All the directions and stuff are in here with it. No, I'm not in Rich's Discord yet. I need to get in there. A Super Duty with a snowplow. I don't have one of those. I think the directions are in here. I'll have to find them. Okay, put it in the wrong one. It does help with your insurance too. I've caught some pretty cool stuff on dash cams as well. And some insurance companies will actually give you a discount if you have one. So, Bob, I need you to email your address so I can send this out to you, okay? I'm sorry the box looks a little torn. Got any other questions before I hop off of here? So if that's all we got, I'm gonna hop off of here. Bob, send me your email or send me your address. Biking is boy, check that rubber hose. You can actually go to a website called cheapcycleparts.com and they may have it on there. That's where I used to get stuff at. All right, I'm gonna hop off here, guys. Remember, send me your address, Bob, and I will talk to you guys and see you on the next one. All right, y'all have a good night.